Good morning. Hello there. Thank you for joining me on the vlog. Today's video is going to be a bike ride on the Fraser Trail, which goes from Bartow up to Lakeland and back. So let's go for a ride. Here we have some locals hanging out, looking for any kind of food that may come their way from generous passerbys. The Fraser Trail is a multi-use trail that runs between the cities of Lakeland and Bartow. It was built on an old railroad line that ran between the two cities, but the railroad wasn't using that stretch anymore. And the trail itself is just over 7 miles one way. So this little section is technically not the Fraser Trail. I call it the Ernest L. Smith Cutoff. It has a multi-use trail on it. And this is kind of indicative of Florida in that here we have a retention pond dug out for construction purposes and for drainage purposes. And in this little bitty retention pond we have, of course, a gator. Where there's water, this is the drainage canal, for lack of a better phrasing, that comes out of the south side of Lake Hancock. Way up there, out of range, visual range, is a dam that holds the water back in Lake Hancock, which they can open up in times of low water levels. And it runs down from here and it crosses over there, which you probably can't see very well, but it drains down there and about another mile or so joins up with another creek that eventually becomes the Peace River. All along the trail, you're going to find little signs that have little inspirational sayings on them. It's a nice touch. And here are just a few of the inspirational sayings. Fort Fraser Trail is a rails to trails multi-use trail, but it is not built specifically or directly onto the old rail bed. This mound right here is actually the old rail line that ran between Lakeland and Bartow, and you can still see the foundation that was built up to create the actual rail bed. For most of the trail, you're riding right beside it. Sometimes you're on it, but most of the time you're just right beside it. In addition to the inspirational signs along the trail, you'll also find numerous other signs scattered throughout that provide an interesting information into the history of the immediate area that you're in. Oh look, here's one now. So here's a sign detailing the history of Fort Fraser. The trail was named after a fort, Fort Fraser, that was built in this area. Apparently for a gentleman named Upton S. Fraser, killed in the battle at Wahoo Swamp, and I have no idea where that is. This is the Highland City trail access. That's the restrooms and the parking area. And they do a very good job of keeping it nice and clean. At this point, we reach the very northern end of the trail. Grant money has just recently been secured to extend the trail further into Lakeland. Now the trail is not going to go straight north from here. It's going to turn left, cross the highway, and go for about a mile west over to Lakeland Highlands Road, where it will then turn back north toward Lakeland and eventually hook up to other trails that will ultimately lead you in and around the city of Lakeland on quieter neighborhood roads.
So this is the northern terminus of the Fort Fraser Trail. Parking area here. This area does not have bathroom facilities. In fact, the only bathroom facilities were back at the Highland City trail access. Plenty of places here to park and to rest and relax. It's a very nice trail system. So it's a pretty little waterway. Not sure where it starts. It's probably just some runoff area somewhere. It does eventually drain out into the Peace River. But it's very pretty at this point.